I have no idea what to say, okay? I know I've said that the last couple videos, but this time I legit have no fucking idea what to say because, oh my god, man. Only this team would lose this game. No other team in the NFL would lose this game. A game in which your quarterback passed for 335 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, broke the record for most consecutive completions in a game by a Bears quarterback. We still lost that game. We still lost that game because, as I've been saying this entire season, all these losses are not only on the quarterback. Our coaching staff is the worst coaching staff in the NFL, and our roster has major holes on it, which again were present in this game. And I know guys Fields threw a pick at the end of this game, which I know a lot of people in the comments are going to blame that pick only on Fields, but if you even watch back, look at the replay, that was an anticipation throw, okay? A type of throw that we have been harping on Fields for not throwing so far in his Bears career, you know, throwing the ball before the receivers out of his breaks. Fields did that in this case, but Kmet was not in the place where he thought he was going to be, so it was a miscommunication, and it ended up being an interception to lose the game again. And I'm not sure if the fault there is only on Kmet, only on Fields, like what the share of the blame is. It's probably on both of them, but the fact that these miscommunications keep on happening, you know, week 4 into the second year of the Getsy Eberflus regime, that's not a good look on the coaching staff, okay? Because it tells me that they're not preparing for these games like they should be. If these miscommunications, these miscues, these collapses at the end of games keep on happening, okay? At some point, the blame also is on the coaching staff, and at this point, I want everybody on this coaching staff fired immediately, okay? I don't care if you think that's a meatball opinion, but at this point, Eberflus has lost 14 games in a row. He only has 3 wins so far in his Bears career, the worst winning percentage of all time as a Bears coach. Luke Getsy, in the second half of this game, made multiple questionable calls. That 4th and 1 call to run straight up the gut at the end of this game, which, by the way, I think we should have probably kicked the field goal there to go up and get the points. I know that our defense was not really good in this game, but I would still rather have the points and take the lead instead of letting Luke Getsy call a run straight up the gut behind a weak offensive line, okay? We don't have the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. We have the Chicago Bears offensive line, okay? We had Cody White here, and obviously they're not elite, you know, top of the NFL players, so I don't get why you would make that call in that situation. I'd rather have like a Justin Fields run or like something on the outside where it's like a sprint throw or something like that. A quick note I want to add while I'm editing this video: if you are going to run up the gut, like, I would rather have us run it with Roschon Johnson, a guy that has proven to get yards after contact, instead of Khalil Herbert. So even that didn't make sense. You know, the running back that he actually chose to run with on that play. Like a run up the gut in that case, I just did not agree with that call because, again, we don't have the Eagles offensive line. We have the Chicago Bears offensive line. And even though our offensive line in the first half looked pretty good, at some point it was going to falter, and it did falter in that second half. And the coaching staff decisions to also not step on the gas in the second half, you know, have a much more run-heavy plan, which, you know, to some extent I do get, right? Like, you're playing with the lead, you're up by 21 points, so obviously, like, many coaches would run the football, but Justin Fields was on fire as a passer in that first half. Why would you get away with what was working in that first half? It's like we were playing to lose in the second half of this game, and yes, I do, you know, agree that it's on the players too, obviously, for not executing properly, but at some point, like, these fucking terrible coaches also have to take some accountability, and I think in this game, it was a complete coaching collapse by the Chicago Bears on both offense and defense, okay? For having a defensive-minded head coach, we allowed 17 points in the 4th quarter, okay? A great defensive coach does not allow 17 points at the end of any game. I don't care what your personnel is looking like. In this game, obviously, we're missing Eddie Jackson, Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson, a lot of guys we were missing, but still no excuse to completely collapse in the second half of this game, to allow 24 points in the second half of this game, okay? Matt Eberflus, for being a defensive-minded guy, I don't think he knows shit right now about the defensive side of the football because he's not getting anything out of any of these guys, okay? Nobody's performing better on this team than they were on their previous team, like Yannick Ngakoue, DeMarcus Walker, you know, the other guys that we acquired this year. Like, nobody's playing better on the Bears than they were their other teams. So it makes me think this coaching staff does not know what they are doing. And My God, man, like, I'm still trying to like process what happened, right? Because I was actually at a bar watching this game, like at a viewing party. I had a lot of fun there talking with other Bears fans, and we were all so hyped, so enthusiastic in that first half, and just immediately, like that, like all that passion, all that positive energy just completely went away when the Bears started choking that lead. Because especially after we allowed the game to be tied up, I was like, the Bears are probably not winning this game. We're probably gonna lose this game, because I don't have any faith in the players or the coaching staff to pull out a close win. And what do you know, I was right about that, because we choked the game in the final seconds yet again. And I feel so bad for Justin Fields, man. Like, I know a lot of people in the comments are gonna say I'm making too many excuses for the guy, but if you look back and watch my other videos, I was criticizing Justin Fields a lot in my other videos, especially the Buccaneers game. I was like, this guy's definitely not playing up his full potential, and if he doesn't turn around things fast, like, we're probably gonna draft another quarterback. But he was on fire, man, making phenomenal throws, changing up his arm angles too to account for where the defender was coming in from. You know, getting the ball out quickly in that first half, making some good throws in the end zone too. He had a play where he had to kind of, buy some time and find Komet in the middle of the end zone. So he played great, like out of his mind in that first half. And even the second half, like, he had a passing touchdown also in that second half to get him up to 4 passing touchdowns. He finally reached 300 passing yards for the first time in his Bears career. And I cannot believe that even in that start where he finally reached 300 passing yards, we still lost that game. Okay, that's how fucking pathetic our defense is. I know Fields had a fumble and an interception, but again, with that interception, I feel like that was on both Komet and Fields, not only on Fields. And the fumble, probably should have had better ball security. But like, what are we doing with that play call where the opposing defense has another straight shot at our quarterback when we're up by so much, right? So again, you can put blame on Fields for that, for not having better ball security, for not seeing that guy coming. But guys, our quarterback did enough to win this game. Like, we should not be expecting our quarterback to be completely perfect in all 4 quarters to win a game, to win a damn football game against the worst team. Well, besides us, the second worst team in the league. Like, it should not have taken a perfect game out of our quarterback, but because of 2 mistakes our quarterback made, which again were maybe not only his mistakes, but other guys' mistakes too, like, we lost the game. And because of how terrible our defense was, like, with how many points we allowed in that second half, that's why we lost this game. And I don't know what to say at this point, okay? Like, I'll still be making videos for you guys, at least for a couple more weeks, like prediction videos talking about each matchup. But if we're still like winless by week 7, week 8, I'm gonna have to change this channel into being an NFL draft channel, because right now the Bears have the number 1 and number 2 pick in the NFL draft next season, because the Carolina Panthers also are sucking so far this year, okay? They're also 0-4. So even though I love Justin Fields, like, I still think this franchise did him fucking dirty. We're going to draft a new quarterback next year, whether I like it or not, because that's how the NFL works, okay? If you have the worst record in football with the generational talent and Caleb Williams, like, we're definitely going to draft that quarterback, even though I, again, feel like all the problems are not only Justin Fields' problems. So it just fucking sucks, man. This franchise, again, is ruined. Like I said in my last video, the most talented quarterback prospect the Bears have ever had. Like, even in a game in which this guy actually looked good, we still lost that game. And now we have a game in a couple days against the Commanders on Thursday Night Football, a national TV game, and I don't know what to say now, man. Like, if we lose that game, like, coaches better be fired. Like, I feel like they should be fired right now after this game, or even after the last game. Like, honestly, after, like, week 1, they should have been fired. But if you lose to the Commanders and start out 0-5, they 100% should be fired after that game. If Kevin Warren, our new president, has any power at all, okay? If he has any influence, any power, I feel like he would fire guys, because what other organization would keep guys around after a 14-game losing streak, okay? So leave your comments down below, guys. At this point, I've like emotionally detached myself from the team, which I know that's not showing in this video. Like, I've been pretty pissed, pretty worked up in this video, but like, deep down, I've not been as attached to this team anymore as it was the first couple weeks. So like, these losses aren't like, burning my soul as much anymore, but it still hurts to see, especially Justin Fields, completely like broken after this game because he knows that, again, like, the entire media, like, half the fan base is probably going to put all the blame for this loss on him because he threw the game-losing interception. And it's just, like, it weighs on your mind at some point after losing all these games and probably makes him think that he's not a good quarterback in this league, which I feel like that's not totally true. Like, I feel like the Bears have completely done him dirty. Yes, he has flaws as a quarterback, but with any other organization, those flaws probably would have been figured out. Leave your comments down below, guys. Again, I'm so sorry to all of you, even though, like, I obviously don't play for the Bears, but, like, I'm so sorry you guys have to go through this just like I do, because it's not fair to any of us, okay? With how much energy, how much passion we put into this team, the fact that we have to keep on watching all these losses, like, Chicago deserves so much better, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Leave your comments down below. And again, I'm not gonna say bear down until they win a damn football game. Fuck this team, man.